Hello everyone, it's Marissa and welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to tell you why I like to start my paintings with a red wash. So stay tuned. So I get a lot of questions from my students why I always start my paintings with a red wash or a red underlayer like this one. I think my first answer for that is number one, I like how it looks. Number two is because red is the complementary color of green, and because I'm a landscape painter, I do the landscape, which is primarily greens of trees and foliage and the vista. So I like how the red side by side with the green complements one another because they are complementary colors, and I like how the two of them interact with one another, and it provides so much interest to the painting. And also it just provides a sudden pop to the color, and it makes the viewer want to look at your painting closer, and it makes the viewer want to go, hey, what's going on there? And really and truly, even a red wash, which has a little bit of hints of some browns to it and a little bit of some oranges to it, depending on the red you use, it still works, because if you use a little bit of an orange wash, like maybe a cadmium orange or a cadmium red light, which has a little bit of the red and the orange playing together, it still is complementary to the landscape, because we have sky, and which is blue. We have the water, which is again blue, green. Gosh, the complementary colors and the two of them together, it just adds a lot of contrast and pop, and it just harmonizes. So that's my number two answer to that question. Now, I think like in the past, like during the Renaissance period, like during the 1300s, because the art mecca was in Italy, Florence, cities like Florence, Sienna, Pisa, and Rome, they made their own paints. And what they would do is they would probably start off their painting first with a nice wash or a nice ground, and it's usually a little bit on the brown side. And I think it is because brown is easily sourced as a color. In Sienna, where burnt sienna, the paint name came from clay, came from the ground. It's an earth pigment, so it's easily accessible, and I think that's what they used to cover their canvas first, or their how do you call it? Their support, whatever support they're using, normally wood or canvas. So that's what I think. And you know, the brown, again, it's depending on where you source the brown from the earth. It could be like a reddish brown, depending on what is included in the earth, or sort of like a red ochre, or like it's known now as red ochre or terra rossa in terms of paint colors. So I think too, during the Renaissance time, is they would first cover their paintings with the brown, the burnt sienna, then it's inexpensive, and then they would bring it to their customer or their client, who is probably the royal court or probably the church. Yeah. during that time, who would commission artists to paint either a portrait of a saint or an architectural interest during the time, and they would render it all in burnt sienna, because you can already go with the lights and the darks of values without using too much color. Then and only then, perhaps, maybe during that time, as soon as they get the go signal from their client, then and only then will the artist source or make colors to put on the painting. That is my thinking, and I think I may be wrong, but you can leave a comment underneath if you have another hypothesis to why artists during the Renaissance, all throughout to perhaps the Impressionist period, they used an orange or burnt sienna as a ground or wash for their particular piece. But I think too, during the Impressionist time, because now they don't have to make their colors, they can use any color really for their wash, and I think the red just is a really nice complementary color as an underlayer for a landscape painting. So I think that's how it started. Anyway, that's the long version of me trying to answer why I like using a red wash. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I prepare my board and put a wash on it. Ta-da! And that is my wash. So as you can tell, the two of them are kind of not looking the same, and I think it's because I added more water here for my wash, and but that's okay. I could go over it again when it dries and add more pigment, but it should do for now. It's okay. It's got its primed wash in my red color that I like. So now after this, I'll wait for that to dry, and then I'll probably show you how I grid my support for a painting that I will do in another video. So thank you again for joining me today, and if you have any questions, please just write it down in the comment. And I hope you can join me again at my next video. And if you like this video, please press the like button and share. And please subscribe. I hope to see you again soon. Sweet out.